Greetings, everyone. Sorry for the small delay. I'm having technical problems today, but it's okay. Because we're here and everything's fine. I'm currently streaming from my private account because my Maha account, I could not log in today. Whatever. At least I added my account as an admin to my own channel. And my light that usually spreads light on my face when I stream is off. And my car is leaking windshield washer fluid, which is not dramatic, but it's there. And it's tons of little things I've learned this week. I'm like, okay, sometimes we have to go like that. So I decided I would talk about it. The fact that we manifest. There's also something else broken in my car, which is guaranteed, but they will fix it next week. It's, that I learned yesterday. See, stress, and I don't have the most stressing life now. I used to, but now it's cool. Stress will manifest in various ways. The more we do spirituality and personal growth, the more we do spiritual practice, we augment our power. What does it mean? It means we manifest, we affect our lives. Like, we're super happy to manifest, and we think, I'm only going to manifest the stuff I want. Why would I manifest stuff I don't want? But here's the trick. When we manifest, we are in a constant state of manifestation, just a bit. Now, sometimes we invest ourselves in very powerful processes that we will go and create everything we can. We will go and manifest and produce results as much as we can. Like in a ritual, prayers, we do processes to manifest a specific thing because we're conscious and we want to have that in our life. When we're a powerful spiritual being, we're constantly manifesting. So when we have negative thoughts, we're not manifesting those. We're not in a manifesting state to project all the surface stuff. It just flows. But if deep inside we have a feeling that persists for a long enough period of time, we're slowly and subtly manifesting that. So when we're afraid of something, insecure, worried, and we don't do the personal growth about it. Now, it's not enough to do the mantra of peace, shanti, 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 when you're troubled mind. It's about going deep inside and doing the personal growth to relieve ourselves from the cause of the suffering. Or at least that while we're worried, we're in a state of embodied consciousness. Okay, I know I'm worried about that. It is what it is. So if we're in denial, then that power goes to our subconscious. And our ego has all the powers we have because our ego is us. So what happens is I'm having a bit of doubts and insecurities. It's not dramatic. Like I said, it used to be awful. I don't know, 20 years ago, 30 years ago. Now it's little things of life. It's okay. Like, I want to spend my money. How should I? And I'm not talking $20. I'm talking about like everything that remains. So I'm thinking, okay, what am I going to do with this? So this discomfort, this unpleasant feeling I have of I'm not satisfied. And I would like to have everything I want whenever I want, greed, this kind of expectation of I want to be served by the universe, everything on a silver platter. So, of course, I feel it as insecurity and fear and stress, but actually it comes from wanting so much for myself. It comes from desiring things, because I could just enjoy what I have now. It would be fine. I would be at peace. So I'm in a state where I'm manifesting subtly pressure. So basically, a tank that cracks, that loses fluid, it's a waste of energy. The tube in which I put my gasoline in my car, that tube has a broken seal, so I'm not losing gas, but there are fumes coming out. This is the new thing that just broke, that is guaranteed, and they're going to fix. But it's a leak. It's a loss. So I have two things that are a loss. Now I don't have enough light. I lost light. Okay? And I can't log in my Maha account, so I'm streaming from my François Lépine account, this class. I lost access. So I feel blocked out of my usual comfort zone. So I take the symptoms. This is what you have to do. You take the symptoms of what you manifest and you try to identify, what does it mean inside? I feel lost. And I feel blocked, stuck in a situation. And we work on that. We take the time to observe what we manifest. And actually, when I'm spending, when I'm actually buying the things that I have to buy, that I feel I should, I get symptoms. Like, I ask the universe, hey, tell me that this is like, I should have confidence in myself and faith and be well organized, but I'm in doubt. I'm just going to accept it. Is that a good choice? Did I do a good choice? And bam, immediately something comes and says, yes, that was a good choice. That was the best karmically beneficial expense. I had agreed with my son. Well, I agreed with myself regarding my son that whenever he goes to university, I have to buy him a new computer. This is not the time for me to buy a new computer, but I bought him a new computer because that's the agreement. Because whatever I have to go through to buy that computer, which is not insane, it's not a big stress, but it is what it is. It's an expense. I'm thinking in how much he benefits instead of using his old pre-high school computer, like a very old computer. Now he goes to university with a brand new computer. It works fast. His efficiency in work, in productivity, his homework, his studies, his discovery of life. He's going to be a programmer. So having a brand new workstation, okay, I'm thinking about long term, what is the benefits on his development compared to the cost on my finances and my choices? You see, that's pretty cool. I like to share this this personal stuff. I just thought maybe someone's going to be angry at me for sharing personal stuff of my life. Nah. He's going to be okay with that. It's cool that I share personal stuff when I have some, because I can give you an example of how I deal with it. Because I'm at peace. I'm stressed, troubled, but also joyful. I can be at the same time super satisfied of what my expenses will bring to my son, what it will bring to my personal life, what it will bring for my future, my expansion. You see, I'm happy of what is going on. It's just that I don't have the usual security I used to. Pre-COVID, I had a bit of loose change. I had some expense money. I could do whatever I want. That was pre-COVID. Then COVID just screwed everything up. And then post-COVID, it's getting back on track. So I'm fine. I'm going to be fine, Like anyone, I have to work in life to earn a living. And I have my hobby, which is spreading wisdom, which helps me go around the world, which is kind of fun for someone who's supposed to be not rich, not broke, but not always comfortable. To have this hobby that brings me to places, and then people offer me nice food and nice shelter, and then I come back home in my super little apartment, my little world, and I live humbly, and I actually like this lifestyle. I remember a friend of mine used to tell me, stop saying that. You could become a millionaire. You have skills, you have manifesting power, and I told him, I don't want to be a millionaire. I don't want to. That's why I'm not. This is not a way of life I want. It's not in my hands. Too much money would be unhealthy for my body, basically. And it's cool. So we go on to the next subject, which is we are sometimes conditioned that we are born for a little bread. That's what we say in Quebec, né pour un petit pain. That we are supposed to work hard for getting little. Okay, so not everyone has that belief, but some of you have that belief. Okay, and that subtly manifests that you always have trials to get a little. I had that belief for a long time. I'm freed of that belief because now, even when everything indicates I should be broke, I'm not. And I actually bring my sons to the restaurant once per week, and I'm eating stuff that, you know, rich people buy, like actual food, vegetables and meat. Right now at the supermarket is, I don't know. It's the prices went up everywhere, right? Post-COVID, the prices went up for everything. So we have to adapt. There was a friend who complained, wow, the restaurants are so expensive now. Like the price of restaurants doubled. Used to buy a club sandwich $12. Now it's $24 for the same club. Well, the price of food augmented. And the lack of personnel, the lack of people to work, means that bosses have to offer a competitive salary or else no one will come. So of course. But then again, I told this guy, also, you have to consider you have the luxury to go to the restaurant. I'd rather go buy my food, you know, at the grocery store so I can, you know, buy more video games. Basically, we each choose our battles. A video game is a small cost. I don't buy the big games lately. It's a small cost for many hours of entertainment, sometimes hundreds of hours. The same amount of money in a restaurant, it's one meal, you know, so I chose my battles. So I guess today I'm sharing a lot of my personal views on things. When I believed I was born for a little bread, that's what I had. Now I believe that I'm okay being comfortable and I have no excesses. Oh my God, my multi-rich friends would tell me, but you have to work on yourself, like you have the right to so much wealth and so much. Yeah, I understand their point of view from having so much money and flexibility. They see that. But I have a view of the world, doesn't mean it's a right view. That there has to be some form of equity in the world. And for everyone above the middle lifestyle, the middle class, there's someone or many below. So I believe that middle class is the best. That was the opinion of Sakyamuni Buddha also, middle class. My finances are below middle class right now, but it's temporary. It's just, you know, COVID time, and now it's getting back there. And I'm constantly manifesting what I have in mind. Basically, because in this lifetime, I wanted to live the average of what my students live so I could understand them. Most of my students are a bit below average. Some of them are above, but some of them are just below. And so I'm just a bit below. It comes with my choice of saying, I want to experience the same thing my students experience. Because how can I guide them if I don't understand them through actual life experience? And then those who know me, they're angry at me when they hear that. It's, Maha, you could be so more comfortable. They love me. They want me to be more comfortable. You know what? To have enough money in life, there's two things you can do. You can augment your revenue or you can reduce your expenses. And reducing expenses means being less greedy of all things. Taking less alcohols or stimulants of various kinds. for me, it was alcohol, and my liver agrees that alcohol is a good thing out of our system now. I'll take a glass once in a while. I'm not like a frightened alcoholic. No, I'm just like, I got tired. I got tired of feeling crappy after drinking a full bottle of wine, which is actually normal. I learned when you're 51-year-old, you're supposed to not feel so great after a full bottle of wine. So now I take a glass once per week, like a normal human. Like, I know some of you take more, and some of you take less. Yeah, having a meal with someone at a restaurant is a chance to meet someone, and I agree. And that's the reason why I do it. I don't go to the restaurant just for my own sake anymore. I go for people. And for those who care, Caroline Lanancette is one of the person that I used to, she kept my moral up. I don't know, once a month, once per 2 months, we would just go sit for hours in a restaurant and talk. And you see, having friends is capital. Having friends is a good thing. I have friends now. They're on the other side of the planet, but I have friends. I'll see them soon. I feel so good sharing my personal stuff with you guys today. I felt this is what I do today. I'm just going to talk about what I'm going through and my vision and why am I manifesting that. And of course, there's a bug in me. The fact that things break, like my lamp, my Facebook account, the 2 things leaking in my car. The leak is a symbol of losing energy, of wasting time and resource. That's a bug. That's not wisdom. Remember, in the Bible, Jesus got super angry at people selling their stuff in the temple. And then they call it the holy wrath, meaning if Jesus did it, it was right. Actually, Jesus got tortured in the last day of his life to pay his karma for all the violent things and all the pain he had caused to others. Which brings you back to when he was aggressive and violent with the merchants and their things. He was not right. He was wrong. He was being violent. But because it's a holy master who said everything he did ever in his life was holy. Actually, no, he was not. He was living. Just a few days, just when he was about to get caught, he felt tempted. He felt so bad. He felt so emotionally abandoned by his father also in his last moment. So when Jesus got angry, it was not holy wrath. It was not justified because he's the Son of God. No, the Son of God thing that came afterwards. He knew himself as just a man. So the idea that when Maha lives something, it must be holy and wise. No. There's a lot of holy and wise thing. And my level of revenue is a choice so I could understand my students. And lately I heard myself say, I think I could just go full middle class. The average instead of below. Because it's okay. I've lived it for, 30 years. I could go full middle class and just be like anyone with flexibility and have, come out of Dadva, still manifest whatever I want. And that means that I might allow myself to go there because I feel it. But the stress, the insecurity, the problems, this is all conflicts related to greed. This is not about if I love myself or not. This is about wanting more, being greedy. And wanting to work less to obtain more, which is basically what everyone does. Yeah, you see, this is a natural survival reflex. It's not evil. This is not bad. An animal in nature must spend as little possible energy so he can save energy. And he hopes to get the best possible hunt, the best possible harvest, because he needs to eat and survive. So that's survival mode. So to procrastinate is not the same thing, but this is not procrastination. If you're just wanting to work less to earn more money, this is not evil. This is just normal. This is what an animal does in life to survive. But then if we continue to work less and work less and work less and desire more and more and more, it causes a stress inside, insatisfaction, disappointment, greed comes in. Then it's not survival greed, that's ego greed. Then it becomes entitlement. I should have that. So I'm not there, but I would love to be there, but I'm not there to this. I should have that. And you heard me right. I would love to feel entitled. My ego is saying, go and manifest yourself as a powerful mage. Be above middle class. How about you go like bourgeoisie and be kind of almost rich? Like you could manifest. Come on. It's just like a few days of ritual and you change shit. And I'm like, I know. I could do that. What are the consequences? Yeah. The consequence would be distance from the people I love. I know that. I would naturally cause a distance with the people that I currently need to be in touch with. I felt after, 30 something, let me calculate for fun, 1,002 to 3, 51, 50, 12. So, that's 38 years. Anyway, 38 years of thinking of what can I do to make the world around me better. Maybe being completely comfortable without ever a financial doubt, that would be fine. But super rich, that's not me. I think if I earn a lot of money, which is the plan like anyone else, I would just, like there's a plan. I want to finance temples around the world. I want to, invest it in distribution of wisdom. It would be lost money. I would just give it away basically for other people to learn about the wisdom of the Maha. I would do that. That's the plan. I get it all written down, and like if I have that much money to invest, I can open temples and places in the world that the Maha does not have access, which would be kind of cool, right? Yeah. So yeah, give me $1 million. I give it to someone else. I give it in wisdom, in joy for the world. And I would probably have a nice car. But I am going to have a nice car because I had to change cars. I'm actually saving money by getting a new car instead of repairing this one. Because when I had more comfort, I bought a luxury car. Now I'm going to give it still have a lot of value in the market. I'm going to give it as payment on my, more sober car. And it's not a downgrade because after a few years, the sober car has the feature of my luxury car, and almost all of them. So I'm not really changing lifestyle, and I'm gonna save money getting a new car. And it's gonna be a brand new car, but gets you from point A to point B. And I put $200 on the color to have the color I want, so it will look more prestigious, So, all right, I keep sharing on my personal stuff, what's going on, the greed of wanting more. It has been harassing me. I've been producing stuff. I've been, I just bought a new video card for my computer to produce more. But the other video card, I'm keeping it because I need to put it in other computers because I'm going to Europe and I will need a computer that is performant in Europe. So I'm not losing that old video card. It's going to be part of the new computer I need in Europe to produce there because I'm going to spend a bit of time in Europe. And then I need to be productive there. So my very good video card is still useful. So it's not a bad expense. It's just I cannot carry my 100-pound computer system in my luggage, which also is unwise. So all of these expenses, computer for my car, the new video card so I can keep working because I'm producing stuff. I need a good video card. It's not for gaming. I game on a PS5. So the computer video card is for productivity. And seriously, I'm befuddled at how I'm still just below average. I don't go down further. It just happens so, like, more people bought Kujian books in the last few months than ever before. And like, I have a publishing house. I publish books from 11 authors, I think, something like that. And usually the other authors, the popular authors, sell more books than me. This is the first time since the story of my publishing house that my own books sold more than anyone else. And that's cool. That means Maha is expanding. That means more people are learning about Kuji-yin and wisdom. That means post-COVID is happening. We're spreading the wisdom again, giving seminars, working around the world, touching more people. So that's good. And because of that, I could afford everything I needed, and I'm okay. I'll go to the groceries this week instead of going to the restaurant. And I'll buy, I'll check at the price of things to buy the less expensive chicken and the less expensive broccoli and whatever else I'm going to buy. And it's fine. It's a life choice. And everyone knows that I can manifest stuff. They say, you don't even have to work. You just have to wish yourself out of this stress. You know what? I would never find out that I have insecurities and greed inside me if I was not facing a situation where my means are limited just to that little stress point. I would never find out what is the fear I have inside me if I would financially manifest myself out of anything that could be revealed to me. And I think this is my biggest motivator. The fact that I can still perceive myself and do personal growth. Because I'm not so comfortable that I don't have to. And that's the biggest motivation I have. No, that's not true. That's the second. The biggest motivation I have is to keep feeling what my students feel, what my average student feels. That's my biggest motivation. So my, a good secondary motivation and my personal motivation is, if I'm afraid of something, if I'm insecure financially or romantically or in life, I want something that will reveal it. Like, I'm not insecure romantically. I miss my girlfriend. It's something that is going on. It is a stress. It's a disappointment, but it's beautiful also. It reminds me her value in my life, So it's a beautiful thing. It's part of this is how it is. If I was so financially comfortable, I would never realize what is not at peace inside me. I would not grow as much. I would grow because I keep observing. That's cool. It is a blessing for my super rich people, my students, or those who are very comfortable. It is a blessing that they get to live that because it is their karma. And you know what? I hear them and they have their own worries. It's just not financial. But they have their own things. It's more personal, more emotional, more about relationship and more about plans and opinions and beliefs. That's good. I begged in the street to eat in my 20s for 11 months. I begged. I lived with so little that my current financial situation is so comfortable compared to that. I remember the pain in Canada of having to go beg and I'm going to give myself 1 hour because it's minus 30 Celsius outside. But the pain of hunger is bigger than the pain of the cold. So I dress well and I go and I beg And passerbys are phrasing like that, and they hear me. It's like, give me a little money and move on. And there's less passerbys because it's fucking cold outside, so no one's out. And oh my God, I remember that pain. Coming back home, having red and blue fingers. You know, when you have red fingers because of the cold, it's not just because the blood is flowing. No. It's because microcrystals of ice in your capillaries, they became sharp and cut the capillaries from inside, damaging the capillaries in your hand, and you're leaking blood in your skin. That's why your hands are red when it's too cold. The first reddish is just a bit of circulation, but then when it starts to hurt, because ice is cutting your skin from inside. Okay, so when you live that and you just stay out and beg, and the pain keeps just accumulating, that gave me an experience that anything from there is up. Okay, anything from there is up. So it's not dramatic to have to look at the price of things at the grocery store like anyone else. Like, not like anyone else, but like most of my students. You know, there are spiritual masters that they do seminars and they advertise like for only $1,000 per day, you know, for 5 days. And you get to go there, and then there's hundreds of people in there in super fucking huge seminars. It's like, yeah, it's cool, but that's not my turf. That's not who I talk to. And it's okay. Everyone has an idea of what I should do. I've affected the world so much. I've built a fantastic Mahajriya. And now that it's built, it's being grown by all the others. Like, I'm just there. It's like, hey, I did a good job. Now you do yours. Like, I'm just sitting here watching. Like, I barely give seminars. I teach online a bit to a few people. And the Mahajriya is expanding. It's expanding. I see the ordination requests, and I see the certificates. I've got 2 assistants now to answer the email of Mahajriya. They split the work, so that's cool. And I see the amount of requests for certificates because they've been ordained. Like, an ordination now is harder to get than before. And they keep coming in. And these people answer the requirements. So the Mahajriya is expanding. There's like more than 400 Mahajriya ordained priests right now. More than 400 Mahajriya priests around the world. And the requirement to be a Mahajriya priest is, unless you're retired, still transmit the wisdom. Find a way to still teach. So that's 400 people teaching basic elemental mantras and emotional integration and stuff like that. That's an insane machine. It's not about if I alone can give a seminar to a lot of people for a big amount of money and make millions per year. It's about having hundreds of people spreading wisdom. And it doesn't matter if I'm not making that money. Because there's 400 people being able to supplement the revenue with their classes. And a few of them, probably, like in my time it was 20, so maybe 50 now exclusively live out of teaching. That's a fictive number. I didn't calculate. It's just too big for me to calculate. But there are people exclusively earning a living spreading the wisdom. So instead of me making a lot of money teaching a lot of people, it's hundreds of people. The butterfly effect of that, the repercussions are immense in terms of equity. That's a machine that cannot be stopped. That's hundreds of people working to bring more joy and compassion into this world. It's fantastic. I love it. So when I think about that, of my choices, instead of me making the money, everyone is gonna be able to live out of spreading wisdom. I'm happy with my choices. I'm happy spreading this wisdom that way. Hey, by the way, I'm ready for pure middle class, like not having stress, not having excessive wealth, and just doing whatever I want without the constant question. Like, I'm good for that. Can we? The universe answers, of course, inside me, that stuff to resolve. That stuff to resolve. That stuff, the greed and the pressure you put yourself to. And I just saw a belief that was born for a little bread. Like, I don't have that belief anymore, but there's a fragment inside that's still there that I just saw. And yeah, it had to do with my brother was angry at me when I had things that he could not afford, because he didn't work, because he was a drug addict, and he was just doing crime. And he was angry at me when I could afford things, but I worked for it, and he had to find his way to make that money on the dark side. Which didn't happen often. A criminal is not daily doing a crime. A criminal is mostly poor and sometimes trying to find some way, It was not a beautiful moment for him. Now he's dead. Yeah, got shot. Not in a bad case, no, in a party. In a party, someone was angry at him and shot him. The kind of party where, people shoot people. Whatever. So, but still, I remember he was angry at me when I had things, and he broke into my room. I had a lock on my room. And he broke into my room through the window. He climbed through the window outside. Found a way to remove, he couldn't open the window, it was locked. He removed the window, removed the glasses from outside so he could come in, grab some of my stuff, put the windows back, but not correctly. So that's how I learned that he came in, and he sold my stuff so he could get it fixed that day. I remember he was angry at me. I also remember that he stole the stuff he was angry at me for. All of this stuff is still in there, and it's manifesting this stress of having something. It could get stolen. People will be jealous, envy. The fear of others' reactions. You see, that's a very interesting integration to do with you guys. Usually I would go and sit and just breathe, but now I'm in class, so I'm doing it. Taking the time to feel, there is a fear. I had not seen that figment in there. That I'm afraid my brother will be angry at me if I have something, or that he will be envious, or because he's an addict, he's just going to come and take it. So what's the point of having money and buy things if someone will just take it away? Which makes me think of another situation with an investigation going on right now, where I'm thinking, what's the point of making money if someone's just going to take it away? Oh my God, these are so interesting things to find out. You see, it's an integration. I'm laughing, I'm joyful of having found it, but the word is still there. Like, I'm just going to go and sit and do it now. But it is beautiful. You see, it is beautiful to find the stuff inside. So I call unto God, okay, I would like to have this pure middle class, never worry again. But I listened. I was not like, hey, this is what I want, now I expect it. Now you have to listen. You have to be available. And also listen to the earth. Like, okay, this is what I want. Be permeable, be vulnerable, be available for the information. And then, this, and I start making links inside. I could dig, bam, subconscious now, bam. I was trained in my teenagers that when I make money, my brother will just come and take it. So I can manifest that if I have something for myself, someone will just come and take it, because that's not forgiven. It's not healed in the sense I have not forgave him, and I have not lived my sorrow of being sad. I feel the sadness. and I enjoy it. I'll flavor that meal. I'll enjoy that wonderful flavor. I'll keep doing it, and I will not hurry out of this integration until it is done. And I don't know. You never know when integration is done. And you say, "Oh, I've done the integration." No, I've progressed. Maybe there's still more. You don't know. Because if there's something hiding from you, it is hiding from you. Like it's built with ignorance. You don't know it. You never know if you're done with something, but you know that you progress because you see the results. And that was a great class where I said, I'm going to share an integration. And I'm just going to talk about what's going on until it rises. And I got it. Sometimes I say, yeah, it's cool. I love to share this. Sometimes I would say to Michaela, my girlfriend, I would say, I don't know yet, but I'll find it. Like, she says, what's going on? I don't know, but I will find it. Because I will listen. I'll pay attention. I'll be available. I'll look at the symptoms outside. I'll look at the symptoms inside. And there will be a bit of intellectual interpretation, but it has to lead to a core feeling. If it's just interpretation, that's the mind. That's an illusion. Interpretation of symptoms, symbols that you manifest, gives you clues, but then you have to be available inside to feel it, to perceive it. I love this stuff. All right, peace. That was a great class of Maha sharing his personal life. And wanting to share my personal life, that is why I had to log in with my human personal account for that class. Because it manifested that way. That's a cool manifestation. Peace.